Why you freeze in social situations, and how to fix it fast. Have you ever walked into a room and felt your entire personality disappear? Like someone reached into your mind and unplugged everything that makes you you. 1 second you know how to speak. The next second your mind turns blank. Your chest tightens. Your voice hides. And you stand there asking yourself, what happened to me? My name is Wason. This is Learn English Listening. This is where we stop pretending we are fine and start telling the truth about how the mind really works. Stay with me until the end. You will not see social anxiety the same way again. Because here is the part nobody told you. Freezing in social situations does not mean you are weak. It means your brain is trying to protect you. It is a survival instinct. A signal that says this moment matters. Before we move forward, I want you to tell me one thing in the comments. When was the last time you froze during a simple conversation? Do not overthink it. Just write the moment that appears in your mind. I read everything. Today, we are going to rebuild your confidence step by step. And by the end of this video, you will understand why you freeze and how to break the pattern fast. Let us go deeper. Sometimes the moment you freeze is not even loud or dramatic. It can happen in a quiet hallway or during a simple greeting. It can happen when someone says your name or asks a harmless question. Your body reacts before your mind can think. And for years, you believed this reaction meant something was wrong with you. But what if this moment is simply your nervous system trying to measure safety? What if the fear you feel is only the echo of an old pattern that you never learned to interpret? When you understand this, you stop fearing the freeze and start observing it. Years ago, I walked into a small meeting. Nothing special, nothing dramatic. But the moment I opened my mouth, my mind collapsed into silence. I could not say my own name. I felt heat rise in my face. I could hear my heart beat louder than the voices in the room. I thought something was wrong with me. It took me many years to understand the truth. I was not broken. I was not weak. I was not shy. I was scared because I cared. My brain was reacting exactly the way it was designed to react. Long ago, being rejected by a group meant danger. No support, no protection, no chance to survive. So your brain learned to scan every social moment like a threat. Once you see this clearly, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself. You stop attacking your confidence. You learn to decode the signal instead of fighting it. But there are 3 hidden enemies that make you freeze even more. The first enemy is self-watching. You study every move you make instead of paying attention to the person in front of you. The second enemy is predicting rejection before anything even happens. Your brain tries to protect you from pain by imagining the worst outcome. The third enemy is losing social momentum. When you isolate for too long, your social engine gets cold and heavy. Which one feels like your biggest enemy? Tell me in the comments so I can read your answer. Now let me show you how to break these patterns. You may not notice it, but your brain collects signals long before you speak. The room, the faces, the silence. The smallest shift in tone can feel like danger because your system was trained to protect you first and understand later. This is why you replay conversations at night and judge yourself harder than anyone else ever would. You are not overreacting. You are overprotecting. And that protective instinct has followed you from childhood to adulthood without being updated. Today is the moment you begin teaching your mind a new way to respond. Social confidence is not a personality. It is a muscle. And every muscle grows through repetition. Not through luck, not through magic, through small, steady practice. Every single interaction you have is a tiny repetition that teaches your brain how to feel safe again. Start with micro skills. Look someone in the eyes for one breath. Ask one simple follow-up question. Share one short sentence about your day. Each action is one repetition. One signal to your brain that nothing bad happened. One tiny victory. But the skill that changes everything is curiosity. Real curiosity. Not polite questions. The kind of curiosity that listens for the spark in the other person. The moment their voice rises, the moment their eyes shift, the moment their energy warms. That spark is the door you walk through. Use these sentences today. What surprised you today? What made you choose that? What are you excited about lately? These questions open people. They make conversations flow without pressure, and they help you learn English in real-life moments. Choose one of those questions. Use it today. Then come back and tell me what happened. I want to hear your experience. There is a moment in every interaction when you feel the pull to hide again. Your eyes drift away, your thoughts speed up, your voice softens. This is the moment to breathe once, slow, calm, and return your attention to the other person. Curiosity breaks the habit of self-watching because the brain cannot panic and explore at the same time. When you choose curiosity, you redirect your energy outward. And when you do this again and again, your social muscle learns a new rhythm. A rhythm where you do not shrink. A rhythm where you stay present. Every conversation gives you more than one path. People do not speak in straight lines. Each sentence they say carries at least 3 threads. There is the story itself. There is the emotion under the story. And there is the small detail that reveals who they are. Your job is not to invent clever responses. Your job is to pick one thread and follow it with calm curiosity. When someone says, "I just came back from a long day," you can follow the story by asking what happened. You can follow the emotion by asking how it felt. Or you can follow the detail by asking what made it long. Each thread opens a new direction. None of them is wrong. Open loops make conversations flow even better. Share a small piece of your own experience. Do not finish the story. Leave it open. Let the other person talk. Later, return and complete your sentence. Their mind will stay engaged because the brain dislikes unfinished patterns. Use this gently, and the connection grows naturally. Memory mastery takes everything deeper. When someone shares a detail, place it in a simple mental box. Attach the detail to a location in your mind. Repeat it one time. Then use it the next time you meet. Ask how that interview went. Ask if they finished the book they were excited about. These moments show you listen. They show you care. They make people feel seen. And now I want you to reflect for one moment. What is one detail you hope someone remembers about you? Say it in the comments. I want to know. When you pay attention to the threads inside someone's words, you begin to see who they are beneath the surface. People reveal themselves in tiny ways. A pause before a sentence. A softer tone when talking about something they miss. A quick smile when they mention something meaningful. Following these threads is not a technique. It is a form of respect. It tells the other person, "I am here. I am listening. I am not rushing to speak." When you speak less but notice more, you create conversations that feel warm instead of heavy and natural instead of forced. Momentum is the secret force behind social confidence. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. When you stop for too long, the engine grows cold, heavy, slow. This is why the 1-minute rule changes everything. Speak to one person for 1 minute each day. A short greeting to a neighbor. A quick hello to a coworker. A simple question to a family member. 1 minute, one interaction, one step forward. Your brain learns safety through consistency, not intensity. You do not need long conversations to grow stronger. You need regular contact. You need small wins. You need moments where nothing bad happens and your mind can finally relax. Now let us shift your identity. You are not shy. You are undertrained. You are not silent. You are unpracticed. Confidence is not a personality. Confidence is a repeated action. It belongs to anyone who trains it, including you, especially you. Remember the truth. Social anxiety is not your enemy. Misunderstanding it is. The tightness in your chest is not failure. It is activation. It is your brain trying to protect you. It is a sign that the moment matters to you. When you see it this way, the fear softens. The pressure fades. The shame disappears. If anything in this video shifted even one small part of how you see yourself, type the words 1% in the comments. I want to see how many of you are choosing to grow. You are not behind. You are becoming, and I will see you in the comments.